I'm filming today, so I just changed into my pajamas and I'm filming in that and a comfy blanket. It's what you get to deal with today. I'm done. And so this video is going to be my anticipated reads for 2021. I literally, an hour before I filmed this, an hour before I started filming, let's be clear, I went on to 3 different websites and picked books I'm excited for based off of their synopsis that are coming out in the first half of the year. I have 9 here because 10 wouldn't fit on my page, so let's dive right in. The first book is The Four Winds by Kristen Hanna. I've read some other books by Kristen Hanna and really enjoyed them. I'm a big fan of historical fiction as well, and this book looks like it touches on the struggles of living in the Dust Bowl during the Great Depression, and as I live in an area that was impacted pretty strongly by the Dust Bowl, I'm excited to see how it plays out and just to get a little better idea of the history of that time. Book 2 is The Echo Wife by Sarah Gailey. It involves clones and affairs, so I'm not gonna not get into it. It sounds like a juicy sci-fi, maybe a sci-fi thriller, so I'm excited to read it. I've read one other book by Sarah Gailey, and while I enjoyed the concept and I enjoyed the ideas presented in it, that book specifically didn't connect with me too much, so I want to give her another try because I found the story and the concepts in it really interesting, even if I had a hard time connecting with it fully. So I'm hoping the second book will kind of be the one that does it for me. The third book I want to pick up that's coming out this next year is called Clara and the Sun. It looks like it's about an AI who's wanting to be bought / adopted, and I'm really intrigued because it says the story itself does a lot of exploration of love and friendship, and I love books that do that, so I'm excited to see what take they do for this. The fourth book I want to pick up is called The Rose Code by Kate Quinn. I've read other books by Kate Quinn. I love historical fiction. This specifically is about World War II historical fiction with prominent female protagonists, which I am always down to read. I love me World War II female protagonists. It is a weird, concept that almost always hits the nail on the head for me. Very rarely do I read books from World War II about women in World War II that I dislike. The fifth book is called Remember by Lisa Genova. She wrote what was one of my favorite reads as a young adult. Like a younger young adult, I guess I should say. The book was called Still Alice, and it dealt with early onset Alzheimer's, and this book is a nonfiction that deals with memory and memory loss, which, as somebody who has had family members with dementia, and personally with my immediate family, people who struggle with memory issues, I'm really interested to read this, and I'm a little worried it'll hit a little close to home, but I think it'll be really eye-opening for me, as neurobiology wasn't really something that I was super intrigued in when I was in school, so I'm interested to see how it's presented. The sixth book that I'm excited for is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I know he wrote The Martian, which I loved, and I know he wrote another one which wasn't as good, but some people liked it. But this one sounds interesting. It's another lone astronaut situation, and I'm hoping that it's more similar to The Martian, so I'll enjoy it. But The Martian was one of my favorite reads of the year this year, and so I'm really excited to pick up more by Andy Weir because I really did just love the way the book was written and how it was able to connect with me as the audience. Book 7 is Lore by Alexandra Bracken. I think that's how you say it. And it sounds really interesting. I kind of wrote down the summary of the synopsis that was online. I'm gonna just look it here. It deals with Greek myths and the alliance of previous enemies to take down a greater power. And there's something about that trope of unlikely allies to defeat a greater evil that I just eat up so hard. So please, Nikki, future Nikki, do not forget to pick this up. That leads me to the 8th book on this list, which Persephone Station by Stina Leicht, I believe is how you would say that. It's kind of like a sci-fi, cyberpunky book from the sounds of it. It says that people who enjoy The Mandalorian and Cowboy Bebop, which I enjoy both of those, will probably really enjoy this. It's the same kind of like gritty space outlaws type of thing, and even if whether or not it's true, that alone is enough to make me interested in reading it. Taglines for books aren't always as accurate as I'd like. And then the 9th and final, because as I said, 10 did not fit on this page, so I'm going to go with 9, is Across the Green Grass Fields by Sinead Maguire. I have enjoyed the majority of these books. There's two that I didn't care for of the 5 that are already out, but 3 of them I loved. And so I'm really excited to actually see where this one ends up lying, if it's going to be one of my new favorites or if it's going to go onto the list of books I didn't care for as much. For those of you who aren't familiar with the Wayward Children series, which this book is the 6th book in the series, it's basically about children who have stumbled across their own portal fantasies, have come back to normal society, and they go, when that happens, the headmistress of the school kind of tracks them down and tries to help them reacclimate or to wait until their door opens for them again, essentially. The premise is really enjoyable. I loved most of the characters across the series. Like I said, there's just a couple books where I wasn't as crazy about them, so I am very, very excited to see where this one falls. And with that, I will leave you here with I think this is the 3rd installment of my Christmas extravaganza. So I'll leave it here. I'll see you guys in the next video, and I hope you're enjoying your holiday season. Peace.